Hello and welcome back to yet another Synergy guide. You guys have been enjoying these a lot more recently, and I'm recording this one actually right after the Moira one. I've been working actually a lot on content and a lot of the future plans because I was feeling burnt out the last few weeks, but now I've taken my break. I'm ready to go, get more content out for you guys. And if you've been watching the other Synergy guides here, there's nothing much different going on here. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I think. This is all backed by my personal experience. If you don't know, I used to play in Tier 3 on attack mode. I have a lot of experience in scrims, so I understand how these characters kind of worked in the past with all of these characters. That being said, in a year's time, if Overwatch 2 comes out and they decide to add more characters, maybe a few of these synergies won't be as strong anymore, but I still think it's nice to have this on the table. Now, the character we are going over today is Zenyatta. So let's get right into it. Right off the bat, we have Ana here, who's honestly probably the worst synergistically of all of the supports. Besides maybe Moira. I still think it's decent, but I'm gonna have to put it at top of D tier. I still used to run it with Skyward when I played on attack mode with him in ladder, only because we were both flex support players, and we were at elos in which there weren't really any named players, so it was very easy to carry using the two most aggressive supports. Besides that, in a team setting or anything that's higher leveled, it would never work, only because it requires you to win the fight very quickly with like a very aggressive value, which I don't think is very, very strong right now. In terms of synergy, it could still work if you're very, very competent on those heroes. Like Zen, like Skyward Zen, I'm telling you, it was kind of nuts. So I mean, that's probably why it worked out. Synergistically, not that great though. Moving up next though, we do have Mercy, which I think is honestly an A tier or an S tier. I don't think it's quite S tier. I think it works very well with the comps that Mercy and Zen work well with. I don't think it's a very great like direct synergy, but I still think it's very, very strong and shouldn't be slept on. I don't think it's as strong as say like a Bap or a Brig synergy in terms of supports, but Mercy definitely does allow for a lot of damage and poke to happen before the enemy can actually engage on one or the other, or on the team rather. I still think it's really strong. I just don't think it's quite S tier. That brings us now to our Ashe character, which I don't think is quite A tier. I think it's top B tier. I think they work very well together because then Ashe is allowed to flank much differently than Moira here, because Ashe can then take angles whenever she wants. She doesn't have to deal with going too far for the healing, really. Does it directly synergize with their whole kit, though? I don't know. I think the Discord's nice. That's why I'm saying I think it's top B tier. Not quite A tier. Bastion next though, I think it's honestly pretty bad. I'm gonna put it C tier. I don't think it's awful. I think it's nice that you can kill characters even faster, but the thing is the healing isn't really there, and the Transcendence doesn't really do anything for him either. It's more of a team-wide thing. I don't think it's quite D tier though, because I'm still okay with playing a Zen with a Bastion if my other support is a Baptiste. That being said, now that we have Baptiste up here, I'm gonna put him S tier. Bap Zen has been a comp for so long. Bap can strictly worry about healing and immortality field and damage on top of that, and Zen can just focus on pretty much just pure shield break damage. The duo was very, very strong when double shield is strong, but I don't, whether or not they're going to be playing with each other again in the future, I'm not sure. The way Overwatch has been looking recently, it's been leaning away from that double shield play style, which I'm totally fine with. I just think that the synergy between these two characters is very apparent, because of how strong it has been in the past. But now Ball, I'm gonna put honestly Ball above. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I think tank wise, Ball is like the most synergistic support with a Zenyatta. Mostly because Ball can go in, has 3 seconds out of LOS of that Zenyatta with the Harmony Orb, and can get out. It's all Ball really needs. He has a bunch of survivability on his own, and I think it's one of the best characters. Honestly, I think it's one of the best characters to really pair with a Zen. I think the Ball Sig, Ball Diva. I prefer Ball Sig with the Mercy Zen. I really liked that comp, and I think it's very, very strong for the Zenyatta player. And I'm not going to go too much more in depth upon that, but I think it's very strong. We're just getting a lot of good synergistic characters, though, because now we have Brig. Honestly, better than Bap. I don't know if it's better than Ball. I think it's better than Ball. Zen Brig has been a staple comp for so long in higher levels. It's very difficult to run, but the synergy between the two characters, it almost seems like they were built for each other. Letting Zen do damage and stay alive within dive compositions is extremely strong, just in general. And I don't think it needs to be said much more about that. You can blow my nose because of my allergies. Sorry about that. But let's go on to Junkrat. I've been kind of shitting on Junkrat this entire series. I will put it above the Bastion, because I think Bastion's kind of bottom C tier. I think Junk's kind of high C tier, if not low B tier. I might move him up one. It's just that he wants to play kind of flanky, kind of just doing his own thing. And Zen can kind of allow him to do that. I think the Discord's really nice to tank bust as well. And besides that, I don't really see there as any direct synergies with the Zenyatta here. Roadhog, I think, is a B tier. I think he's a solid B tier character for Zenyatta here. I think the Orb of Discord is very nice for him to finish off hooks, and I think the Orb of Harmony is nice to keep him on the side. Do I think it's anything that's absolutely crazy? No, not really. I just think it's very, very much a B tier pick. Same thing kind of goes for Doomfist here. I just don't think Zenyatta is crazy with the Doomfist. I don't think it's quite A tier. I think it's top B tier, though. I mean, orbing on the engage is really nice. Besides that, there's not a whole lot going on for that. I might actually move it up because the Discord is nice. I just think Genji and Tracer and Sombra do a much better job. Pulling through with the synergy than Doom does, because he doesn't necessarily need it for all characters. He needs it for his abilities, not for his punch. Diva. I'm going to put Diva A tier. I don't think she's quite S tier. The aggression that she can have with the orb is very nice. It's not as strong as other supports, but it's still really nice to have that Discord as well. Almost so that I'm going to put it top A tier, I think. Echo. Definitely an S tier pick. I think better than the Bap. Maybe better than the Ball as well, just because it's more efficient. It's honestly actually almost a direct synergy. I don't think it's quite better than Brig, but the thing is like, Discord can allow her to damage targets to below half, and then finish off with her beam. The Orb of Harmony allows her to push very aggressively. I just think it's all around a very good pick. And you're going to see that with a lot of DPS. They do very, very well with an Echo. And that's that. Widow. This one I'm going to have to put top C tier, I think. I don't think the Discord does anything. I think it's strictly just because of Harmony Orb and the fact that she can kind of go on her own for 3 seconds and still have that healing. I think it's very nice to also be able to Discord a flanker if a flanker dives the Widow and they get hit by the Venom Mine. It does a lot more damage, and she can kind of focus them down with the Uzi. I just don't think it's quite B tier. I think it's a very high C tier pick, honestly. Reaper. This one I'm gonna have a hard time putting. I want to put it D tier, but tank busting is very strong. I just don't see. I'm gonna put him bottom C tier right now. But I think that Reaper needs something that's going to get him in fast. He already has a lot of damage. To make him do even more damage at this point is a little bit excessive, but it's not awful. I wouldn't be very keen on picking the Zen when I have a Reaper on my team. That being said, Genji Synergy, I think is kind of slept on. I don't think it's crazy, like as good as Ball, but I mean, I think it deserves to be an S tier. Because here's the thing, if you have a Genji and you're discording the enemy supports, they're gonna die and he's gonna get dash resets. It's just a matter of time. It just matters like how good the Genji is. I think Zen Genji is very slept on. I think it's very strong. I don't think it's quite the best just because of how Genji is as a character right now, but I still think it's really strong. While I put Widow in C tier, I'm gonna put Hanzo bottom B tier. The thing is that with Storm Arrows, the Discord comes into play a lot more, and the way that Hanzo likes to play sometimes with off angles, the orb helps when he wants to take 1v1s, so I think it's very, very strong. Up next we have Lucio. I'm gonna put Lucio above the Reaper, not above the Bastion though. I think Zen Lucio comps were definitely big back in the day, but I don't think the synergy is good anymore. Just because Brig exists, it just kind of makes the whole fast dive comp with Zen kind of useless. That being said, I think it's the whole idea of damage is healing. If you can kill them before they kill you, you win the fight. Cool, whatever. I just don't think it's as good as it once was, sadly, because I really would have loved to play that meta again. But I mean, it is what it is. Kree. The thing is I really dislike putting any characters in a D tier, because any DPS characters for that matter, I really struggle putting them in D tier because they work very well with the Discord. I think Kree might be below. Reaper and Kree kind of go in tandem. I think Kree is better just because he can deal with it at range. Reaper has to get in their face. That being said, I'm gonna put Reaper D tier because he just wants speed. Same thing with Mei. I think it's honestly worse than a Reaper. She doesn't really need the extra damage because she does a lot anyways. I just don't think it's good. These characters want to close distance, and Zen does not. He wants to spam. So I feel as though that should be pretty self-explanatory. Moira, I'm gonna put above Ana. Only because she does raw healing, Zen does raw damage, really. Besides that, the characters don't really function too well together. And I think the Lucio makes a little bit more sense in terms of an overall comp idea. I'm not going to put too much more thought into that. That's just all I'm going to say for it. Orisa. The thing is here is that, like, Orisa doesn't really synergize with Zen directly. But she does well with the Zen because she's paired with the Bap. So I'm going to keep her at a bottom A tier. And that's my reasoning behind it. When we get to Sig, you're going to see why I said that. Pharah. I think Pharah is a top contender for A tier. Not quite as good as the Diva, but it's really nice to have a Zen when you're on Pharah. Because again, the healing range is insane. You have 3 seconds to cut out of LOS and still have the healing orb on you. And damage orb just lets splash damage be even more effective. That's just absolutely crazy. You have to keep that in mind. It's just the more damage you can pump out on these types of characters, the better. And especially when they have the range to do it. That being said, what's up next? Reinhardt. Honestly, guys. Reinhardt is right up there with Reaper. It is just not very good. The thing is, well, Paz, Ryan was using goats with Zen. That was different. That's because you had the extra healing capabilities of Brig and the speed of Lucio, and you didn't really have to worry about anything. In the current climate of the game in 2.2.2, there is quite literally no synergy between these two characters. It could still work if you have a BAP, but Ryan wants to get in their face. Why run a Zen when you can just run a Lucio? That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, the Zen is fine if you want to take matters into your own hands. And I mean, anything can happen in ladder, and you can win with any comp. I mean, we've won many games using Ana Zen. Many games using Ana Zen, me and Skyward. Was it practical? No, but it's ladder, it can work. You're just never gonna see this together in like Overwatch League and contenders. I just don't see it happening anytime in the future. Maybe with the new additions to the game, something will change. I personally just don't think it's going to happen unless it's like a very memey comp. That being said, Sigma, I'm going to have to put S tier. I think taking off angles with the Sig and the fact that Sig can allow Zen to rotate to very strong positions is incredibly underrated for especially like metal rank players. I don't think they understand how good Sig is with the Zen. And that's no hate on metal rank players. It's just that, I mean, Sigma players probably don't completely understand how to rotate their Zens to correct positions. But I think it's definitely good to note to understand that, like, even just a Zen Sig on the off angle, just those two, that can be a menace if the Zen is very accurate. So you got to be looking out for that kind of stuff. You got to be looking for value like that. I digress. Soldier, I'm gonna put top A tier. I just don't think it's quite S tier. It actually, you know, I'm gonna put it S tier. Here's the thing. Nah, there's just better DPS synergies. The thing with Soldier is that he wants to flank. Orbing him on the flank, very nice. He doesn't have to use Healing Field as much. He can wait to use it. Also, because he's on the flank, he wants to kill things fast so they don't have the time to turn around and kill him. So the Discord is very nice, especially when you combo the Discord with a Visor. Very, very strong. If you haven't seen the ideas here, Zen is kind of in between a hard spam character and a hard dive character. He's that in between in terms of how strong he is. The only reason why he's getting dive though is because of Brig. So really he's just a hard spam character, and then Brig just allows him to be a divey character, a spam character in dive, which is really nice because more damage means an easier dive. Yada yada yada. I digress. Sombra honestly is one of those characters that is pretty top of the line, right behind Brig, I think. While Harmony Orb might not be crazy, the Discord Orb on a Sombra that can wait for that Discord to come up and then uncloak or decloak, whatever it would be grammatically, and just completely demolish an enemy is crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. I think it's quite underrated. And the thing is that Sombra's a very hard character to utilize in most ranks because it requires a good team synergy in terms of like how the team is playing together as players. But I think it's really strong. I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. It's just sometimes it's not practical with how good Sombra is. Up next we have Symmetra. I think is better than Reaper. Nah, I'm gonna put it pretty low. Symmetra needs to get close. The healing isn't enough. The damage they can kite away now because you don't have the speed. Not good. Torb, for that matter, I'm gonna put B tier, upper B tier. A discorded target getting hit by a turret is quite scary, and also orbing your Torbjorn while he uses Overload and tries to take a 1v1 in the backline, very, very strong. Underrated. I digress. We move on. Tracer, again, it's almost bread and butter here. You orb the Tracer, you discard a target. It is now 100% easier for that Tracer to win that duel. It is just infinitely easier. I mean, I don't think I really need to say much more. It's just a lot easier. That's all I'm going to say with this. Monkey, I think, is B tier. I don't think it's unheard of. I don't think it's unheard of to be running the Monkey with the Zen. I just think Ball is much better. The Monkey wants a little bit more sustain, but I don't think it's necessarily unheard of. I might put him. I might say he's a bottom B tier, high C tier, just because dive with the Discords is very nice. Besides that, I don't think it's anything crazy. I'm actually gonna put him top C tier, and I'm gonna put the Zarya bottom B tier, because Zarya with no bubble, having that orb on her when she's no bubble is very nice, so that she can have an extra survivability and play more aggressively. Winston, I think it's good. I just don't think it's nearly as great as Ball is. And if you have any questions, this is where I'm gonna transition to the outro. If you have any questions, please do let me know. I think this is a pretty solid tier list. If you've noticed, a lot of these supports have specific composition characters that they lean towards, and specific composition characters that they kind of lean away from. With Zenyatta, a lot of brawly kind of stuff he leans away from. Honestly, I might put Junkrat into a B tier. No, I'll keep him where he is. A lot of the hard brawl characters Zen doesn't function well with. A lot of the spammy dive characters Zen functions very, very well with. So yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. Sorry if my voice sounds very nasally and very congested. I'm really struggling with allergies right now, but I just wanted to get this all done for you guys because I'm not feeling as burnt out as I was before. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please let me know. If you'd like to see this for all the main supports, please let me know, because I'm not going to record those yet. But yeah, I appreciate you all for watching. But until next time, I've got a peace out and Paz out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.